that wrong. You know, the funny thing is, though, something about what I'm sharing is getting people talking. Something about what I'm sharing is getting people to question, whether, things do need to change or not. Whether, the climate change that we see is actually a direct result of us. How we behave and how we treat each other and how we treat this world. We're reaping what we've sown, and a lot of people, they don't want to hear that. A lot of people want to get on my back, and they want to say, oh, you're preaching doom and gloom, and that's that new thing. And the irony is, these people, they make up lies, and they're just saying things without even knowing what I'm sharing. I mean, most of the people that have any kind of issue with me, first of all, they're not friends with me on Facebook, if you will. They're probably not readers of mine. They've seen something, or they've heard something, or they know about me, and the instant they find something that they can latch onto, they do. And that's basically what we're seeing now, is we're seeing people that are coming over and just kind of, you shouldn't say that things need to change or they're going to get worse. You shouldn't try to scare people into thinking that, that they should change. I mean, no, everything's going to be fine. You just live your life the way you want, Rape the planet, rape people, do whatever you want, steal, talk down to people, attack them, tear them apart, condemn them, force people to believe your way, force people to think the way you think. That's what we see today, and that's what I wanted to talk about, was control. Control. I don't really plan any of these, little outings that I have with you. I don't really plan anything at all. In fact, I get an idea and I think, you know what? That would make a nice little video. Sorry about my thumb there. And so I'll start talking. I'll press play and I'll just start talking. And and sometimes when I do this, like you saw in that, the floodgates video, as I was talking, I just randomly said, the floodgates are opened. And it was funny because in that moment I realized, as I was saying it, that meant naturally, that we're going to see floods everywhere and a lot more of them. And so I said it. I said, naturally as well as spiritually, because spiritually that's what's happening. This world is sick. People are sick. And we're killing each other, and we're doing things to benefit ourselves, and we're not thinking of the whole. We're not thinking of the planet. We're not thinking of our children. We're not thinking of our neighbor. We're only thinking about what we can get that somebody else can't get. It's almost like, I was inspired to tell people that by looking at the world and looking at the things that are going to happen, that we're going to see more floods, we're going to see more earthquakes, we're going to see more volcanoes, we're going to see all of this. The heat index, we're breaking heat records every single year. Not to mention the mudslides, the typhoons, the hurricanes. Really, people, what is it going to take for people to wake up and realize that this world, the way it's going, cannot sustain itself? It can't. And what we're seeing happening now is disorder, chaos. People are scared now. People are talking about this, that, and the other thing, and they're worried. And guess what? When people start talking this way, the people that are in charge, they start to worry too. Because they start to think, well, people are going to catch on that what's happening to the planet and what's happening to our world is a result of greed and corruption. They're going to catch on. And then they're going to say, you got to stop doing this. So they waited till the last minute. They waited until the last minute. They waited till almost too late now. And now they're talking about climate change. It was a joke just a couple of years ago. Conspiracy just a couple of years ago. The powers that be, they don't want you to see the truth. They want you to be blinded. They want you to follow what's going on in the news. And, well, the news about Donald. It's about Donald Trump. He's so electable. He's so down to earth because, yes, he's, he demeans women and he says, well, I do it and whatever, I pay him. Got to get those foreigners out of the country. I mean, do you see? And he's electable because today, that's how this country has become. I mean, we've become this greedy. Even those that claim God are corrupt to the core, it seems. And so, yeah. So I've talked about, the flooding spiritually. I've talked about the natural earthquakes. Well, now I'm going to talk about the control. When things become chaotic, someone has to step in and keep order. And let me tell you something, the powers that be, they're smart. And I'll be the first one. I want to tell you something, because I don't believe in fighting against anything. I believe in doing the right thing the right way, peacefully. I don't even believe in having a gun. I don't own a gun. I don't believe in living in fear. And yet it's scary times today. And so when things get a little disorganized, what you're going to see is a lot of control. And we all know control is not that much fun. When people try to put their will on you, every fight you have is based on control. Every argument based on control. Every war based on control. We need to let go of control, and we need to live for each other. And I believe when we do that, well, I believe things are going to change in a mighty way. So, not making any predictions. I'm just saying what everybody else is saying. Gonna see bigger earthquakes. Flooding's gonna continue. I mean, right now, England's gonna be underwater soon. But watch the control. Watch the control. And hopefully, when that happens, and when you see, and I'll be the first to admit, I'll be fine, if people have food stores and, and if they say stay in your house, martial law, I'll stay in my house. I believe that people should act according to the rule of law as long as that rule of law doesn't force you to hurt another. I believe in peaceful change. And I believe that we can do it by returning to God and returning to love and sharing the truth and sharing our hearts. So, there's no denying that everything that I've said is true and everything that I'm saying is true. And if you want to come out and detract and try to say things to try to find a way to snare me up, go ahead. Because I'll warn you once, I'll warn you twice, then I'm just going to say bye-bye. Because ultimately all will come to the knowledge of truth. Ultimately, it's all good. Life is a beautiful thing. And we can't fail. But I want to see heaven on earth now. And the only way that's going to happen is if we literally